just gotten to the office and we're gonna run a very fun Pilates session for the team. Now, they've never experienced this type of Pilates before. We're gonna be focusing on more advanced exercises and more classical Pilates movements geared towards Joseph Pilates' original repertoire. I'm really excited to show them what I planned and see how they cope with the workout. Gonna do a little run through of my program that I've planned just to make sure I've got all the layers in and people can progress to the peak exercises that I've got in my head. I'm just stalking one of my instructors who's teaching at the moment. He's got the wrong box on the bed. Might get some inspo and throw that into my advanced Pilates routine that I've got planned. Okay, so I'm gonna put my grip socks on, refresh my memory, and maybe I'll get inspired and throw some extra stuff in.
Okay, let's go.
Now I'm gonna focus a bit more on mobility and flexibility. Exercises that I've got mapped out in my head are movements like tendon stretch and horseback. I do want to have the foot safety strap over the wooden platform and do some short box series work, but it is like a 45-minute class, so I'm just conscious not wanting to jam pack too much in there based on like everyone's skill level, because even though it's an advanced type of Pilates reformer class, some of the people who are actually coming to experience this are not like regular Pilates practitioners. So I'm just conscious that I need to like adapt this program to be suitable to most of the crowd. But this is kind of like a teaser taste test of what we offer. Also, like, I want them to have fun. I can hear that this stopper is not in the right spot. Okay. I'm planning to start on some flexibility work, like stretching through the hamstrings, just so everyone can get familiar with that feeling when the back of their legs are reaching their max range of motion. I guess people can decide like if they want to move the foot bar higher or lower when it comes to this type of movement. And maybe I'll get them to lift a single leg up, bringing it down. At the same time, I will get them working that mobility through their back body, so like rounding their spine a lot more. And then getting them to come upright. It's really weird that this exercise is called stomach massage. Like, my stomach does not feel massaged at all. Maybe I'll get them like lifting their hips up a little, coming down. Because I'm on a red and white spring right now, I can probably get them to come down onto the bed, and then this is kind of how I work. I spend like a lot of time on the bed, just wiggling around until I find something that I think works. So I'll do some like hands and straps with some abdominal work. Anyway, just a tiny sneak peek, but I've got way more that I've got planned. Do some rollovers. Okay, I'm just gonna turn the camera off and keep going. Another official welcome to your advanced reformer class taster. Now, in this class, we're gonna be exploring more of the traditional Pilates movements. It's not necessarily going to be advanced exercises back to back, okay? We will be exploring peak movements that will be more challenging, other movements focusing a little bit more on our control and balance today. We're gonna work through a lot of flexibility, and the point of this advanced class is not for you to be able to attain and do every single difficult movement. It's about you having the ability to modify, to take the levels and layers that suits you the best. It's about progressing and building up to those challenges. Now, we are going to start on footwork. Place your heels wide to the corners of the foot bar. Open your knees out to the side, heels wide to the corners of the foot bar. Now from here, you're gonna press your carriage all the way out, straighten your legs. Bend your legs, bring the carriage in. I started the class on footwork with various positions. I started with feet wide, gradually getting them to take their feet closer together, which will increase the resistance through their springs. Later on, I got them curling up, doing some stomach massage just so they can start to get some flexibility through their hamstrings and mobility through their back body. Pressing out and holding, I've asked them to challenge their balance, adding one arm forward and alternating. After that, I got them keeping their legs long, heading into some calf raises where their heels lower under the foot bar and they stay in that rounded position with their hands holding the edge of the carriage. This actually mimics the same shape of tendon stretch, which is an exercise that I popped into my class plan today. I don't think they liked me very much for that. But before we got into tendon stretch, we headed into some shoulder work with some draw a sword and some tricep side bend action, just to get the shoulders warmed up, prepped, and ready to go for what was to come later. Once we finished some movement through the arms, I decided to challenge their balance by heading into a half kneeling pulling straps lunge series. In this series, every time I teach it, it is so important that the setup is on point. I always have a look around the room and cue exactly where both feet should be. The back toes should be tucked on the moving part of the carriage. I see a lot of common error where people put their back foot on the extender, and then when they pull their straps, obviously their back foot's not on that moving surface and it doesn't work. So I always make sure that the setup is right, and before I get everyone to stand, I always turn to face the room just to make sure I know that everyone has got their hands and feet in the right position, because it's the standing part where your carriage moves that creates that instability and where people can sometimes stack it. Even though secretly I was having a heart attack, but everyone nailed that standing balance exercise. I always like to mix it up with something in between before I change sides. This just gives people's balance a bit of a reset. So I decided to throw in some shoulder work into some T pulls out to the side. Thighs against the shoulder blocks. Again, they're still balancing, but it's not that same type of balance challenge on that lunge exercise. Then I got them taking it to the other side. Once the standing balance exercises were done, we finished off the draw a sword and tricep side bend action on the other side before facing the foot bar. My classes always have a 360 kind of flow to it. After the arm series, we took it into elephant stretch with single leg variation as well.
Slide only your heels away, keeping your heels grounded into the bend. So your eye gaze is over your springs, and whatever you're looking at is not moving forward and back. So your torso is still. Only your feet are moving out and in.
I move around the room a lot when I teach, making sure I get to everyone. I don't necessarily give hands-on adjustments to everyone. Sometimes people don't need it. I do add hands-on adjustments if I see someone really struggling. Most of the time, I'll just stand next to them, do a bit of mirroring, and provide some group cues that are actually specific to them. And the minute that I stand next to them, they actually know that my group cues are basically for them, and they switch it up and fix their form.
Front split is the exercise we're heading into.
When I get them setting up for front split, obviously I build this up through lots of layering that starts with hands on the foot bar. I like to have my back foot parallel against the shoulder block. That means you have more surface area supporting your foot rather than having your back heel high against the shoulder block. But that can be a progression. It's just totally up to you on how you want to set it up. I like to start from a very base layer, building it up so I get to see how the class is doing, and it's easier to progress than it is to have to backtrack, which is my theory and how I coach. I got them starting to lift one hand off the foot bar, giving that confidence to balance. And then if they're feeling pretty good, I'll get them to lift their chest, hands off the foot bar, and find that balance. Unfortunately, some people's hip cramped a little bit. After this, it was time for tendon stretch.
Face the entrance. We're going to take it into an exercise called tendon stretch.
I got them starting with some roll downs. It was super important for them to understand that the shape of tendon stretch is your arms long, legs long, coming up to that standing position at one end while pressing the carriage out, coming into a reverse plank position on the way out. While we go through this roll down sort of L shape forward fold position, I emphasize that this is a shape we will get into later.
Now we're going to take a seat onto your foot bar. Sit down, bum on the foot bar. This is the comfy part. Arches of your feet are hanging off the edge of the carriage. You're going to kick the carriage all the way out. Wiggle your feet together. The arches of your feet are against the edge of your bed. Hands on the foot bar. You're going to round your body over your legs. Think of the warm-up we did earlier. And then roll back up to seated, sit tall. Round forward. Arms long, sit tall.
While we're going through this prep work, I make sure everyone's hand positions are correct. The forefingers are under the bar, the thumb is over the bar, the arches of their feet are in the right spot of the carriage, and I talk through this shape. I also get them exploring what it feels like to have their bum off the foot bar. So I ask them to slide the carriage out, push the bed out a little, and their bum comes over the front edge of the foot bar. I talk about how important it is to keep the legs long, because if you bend your legs, you don't have the support of the springs to pull the carriage back in.
Lift your hips, roll back, roll forward. So it's like you're skimming the foot bar with your bum. Rock forward, rock back. Keep your legs straight. Just keep your legs long and pull yourself back and push yourself forward. Set up earlier. Yes, stand up and then push forward, rock forward.
Because they were doing so well, I thought I would chuck in a single leg tendon stretch variation.
Everyone, let's stand to the left side of your bed. Take your right foot on the edge of the bed. Take your right foot on the edge of the bed. Holding onto the foot bar, you're gonna kick your right leg out and just bend your right leg. Kick your right leg out, bend your right leg. That's all I want you to do. So 2 hands are on the foot bar. Your hands are framing your front leg. Nice. Yeah, this is all we're doing. Now, if you can, you're gonna keep your legs straight. As you press out, you're gonna lift your foot off the floor. So press out, push into your hands, and your leg kick out to the side. Yeah, there we go. See, there we go. Woo, look at Mitch go. Look at Kelvin go. 2 more. Last one, bring it in. Oh, yes. Okay, let's take it to the other side.
This is so funny. When I run a group class with the team at my work, there is always negotiation for less reps or skipping aside. But there was no getting away on my watch. We still did the other side in that single leg tendon stretch.
Bring it again, one out, one in. This foot closer. And to the middle. Yeah, that's it. And then kick this leg forward. Yes, that's it. And then step. Yeah. Forward and step. Beautiful. Last one here. Whoa, look at me. Can I have like another 10 minutes? Okay, let's grab your box. A short box on your carriage. Short box on your bed.
I asked for more time because I realized I set up the black foot safety strap at the beginning of the class, and I was going to end the class without even using it, which means that would have been a waste of a setup. So, of course, I asked for more time, but to be fair, some people were late. That's why I went a bit over time, and I really wanted to do a short box series. So I took the team through some backbending work along with some tree action. When I get people heading into backbends, there is a bit of fear associated with that. So I do ask people to grip the sides of their box to act as a support. If they do feel confident, I get them draping their hands overhead towards the pulley end of their bed and rolling themselves back up. In tree, I worked them up through different layers, starting with just bending and stretching the legs, climbing their hands up their leg that's out of the foot safety strap. Got them doing some back bends as well, thinking about their leg being a flagpole or like a tree trunk, still reaching to the sky without moving it, taking it into that back bend. There were some impressive moves in class, and I must say I was very proud of everyone, and the team absolutely smashed it. I finished off with feet in straps, and that pretty much sums up the advanced Pilates class that I ran for my team. I wanted to get a review from everyone's experience because this was new to them, and here it goes. What was like your favorite exercise?
I like the when my leg is up and it's like literally like
the front split.
yes
the
yes,
front split
yes,
yes
that's the one. It's just
Okay, it's good. What was your least favorite?
The
What's that?
the leg that you asked to do.
Oh, the tendon
I
stretch.
cannot do that.
Not the single leg.
No.
Okay, let's ask the person next to you.
A lot of like posture going up, then I can climb myself up like a monkey.
Oh yeah, climb a tree. You were actually really good at that.
Yes.
He was so good, wasn't he?
I know.
It was shocking.
Teach me how to be like you.
Just work out a lot.
Work out a lot.
Yes.
Work out a lot. Okay, thanks guys. Get back to work.